Welcome back to Angling 360. We're back on the Roach. Back on the Roach on a very busy venue. There's people walking by, there's dogs walking by, there's boats and canoes and God knows what else. Ducks, swans. So this might be a wee bit challenging. But I think the biggest challenge lies in the fact that we've never fished here before. We've heard a lot about it, done a little bit of research into it, but never actually fished it. In fact, I think I fished it once when I was like 15 and I didn't do very well. But aye, Roach on the feeder only starts one place, and that's the ground bait mix. I am sticking with, or we're sticking with, our sort of favoured go-to approach. 50% brown crumb, 25% Silver X, and probably 25% frenzied hemp as well. We've had a chat to a local guy that fishes a match angler. He's given us a few tips, so we're going to start quite close in. Feed small amounts, little and often, see how it develops, and then if need be, we can sort of push out a little bit further. But fishing roughly 30 yards to start with. Gordon's all impressed with his new feeder setup. We'll see if it helps him stay awake, that would be ideal. But yeah, the plan, build a bag of fish, build a bag of roach with hopefully the chance of something a wee bit bigger. We're still after that 2-pounder. We've kind of come to the conclusion that it's not going to happen on Lomond. Still might. So it's maybe time to start thinking about other places in here. That's why we're here. But yeah, let's get this bait mixed up and we'll see how this goes. So as always, mix it up dry. I'm not going to put too much in. We can always make up a bit more later on if need be. And normally we would add our maggots and our casters to the ground bait, but we're going to be a little bit more professional in our approach, and we're going to keep all the baits separate and just add it to the feeder as and when we think it's required. Not that we'll know when that is, but you never know. Gives us a sort of more variable option. So that's the mix. A bit of water. We'll keep it quite dry and quite fluffy. A lot of it at a time. I've said this before, but there are fancy sort of drill attachments and food processors and whatnot that you can mix your bait with. There's nothing wrong with just getting your hands in. Well, it's a bit messy, but I don't mind that. Getting there, plug the ground bait with that, a couple of particles in between them, sandwiched in between it, and just feed little and often, little and often, little and often. Right, let's see. It's always a concern when you come to a place like this. It's a public park, it's a country park, and there's just so many people. We're used to fishing big empty lochs. So this is a wee bit different, but Gordon was saying earlier on, are these boats going up and down and they're not going to cause a problem? I'm hoping that the fish are used to that. I'm sure they are here. It's a renowned venue, it's a renowned match venue, and it does produce big bags of fish, so surely we can pick something up. We've mentioned before when we've done any sort of feeder sessions that we really could be a wee bit more efficient in the way that we fish. We're no match anglers, definitely not. Pleasure anglers all the way through. at a push specimen hunter, but definitely not match anglers. So we've tried to be, we're never going to have a platform and feeder trays and 5 rods and poles and whips. It's not us, we're just not going to do it. But having something a wee bit more controlled, like a setup a little bit more controlled, is definitely on my to-do list. So I've tried. It's not the greatest, but I've kind of got my bait down to my right hand side. I'm on a very low chair. I've got my rod tip close to the water. It's a bit of a shambles, but the idea is there. The problem is we only have one landing net. Ideally I'd like a landing net right here. So it's going to be a case of up and down if we do catch any decent sized fish. So aye, we need a landing net each next time, I think. Landing net each, keep net each, we'll all have it just set round about us. And at least that way we might look like we know what we're doing.
While he's there kidding on, he's being a match angler. I think I actually quite looked the part. I actually forgot I had this set up. Bought it off my mate a couple of years ago with the feeder fishing in mind, and I used it a couple of times when I was river fishing for the dace and the perch. And it's quite handy because you've got everything to hand. Cates, juice, your bait, such have you. Extendable rod rest arm thing, you can go up and down and things happen. You can actually attach a keep net to this. But aye, I'm not a competition angler, match angler, I'm not into all that. I just enjoy my fishing. Don't like storing it, you know. With that said, I fished here, same as Alex. I think Alex said it when he was mixing the ground bait up. I literally fished here when I was 11-year-old. My uncle Tommy brought me down pike fishing. And if my memory serves me right, I'm sure I was using bacon. It's bait. I think my uncle Tommy just wanted to keep my auntie Anne happy. We'd take them out for a few years with my hair so he could get a pass out to the pub later on. And that's inevitably where they always ended up at 12 o'clock. So Uncle Tommy, if you're up there looking down on us, send us some work dinner. But aye, they'll feeder fishing. I struggle with it at times. I don't know if I've mentioned in the past, but Alex is looking for that 2-pound roach, and it's one of the species that I've got the bigger one, £12. Oh, I picked it up. So I know he's dying to get a £13. Can't he see he's getting this £2? I just don't know what it is. It's just, I think it's one of the ones that will just forever elude us, but you never know. We've got to be seem to be trying it, and we're no ones for shying away from a challenge. So we'll keep trying and we'll see what this new venue, relatively new venue brings. But it's like sitting in Surrey Hall Street. If Alex pans you in the now, look. I think we've got the dog walking society, the jogging club, the running club, stretching club, the yoga club. I don't know what kind of clubs we've got everyone. And their own club. Maybe a few speedboats, paragliders will turn up. But we better get fishing and less talking.
Well, we're about 2 hours in. I've been feeding quite regularly. I think Gordon's nodded off a couple of times, but I have seen him cast on the odd occasion. But not a single touch. Not even an indication. Started off fishing about 25 yards. I've now pushed out to 50 yards. I'm just going to keep kind of mixing up, changing it a little bit. Maybe come back into that 25-yard mark. And just see if I can find a fish. My hopes have went from a nice bag to just a fish. There's a couple of guys fishing just along from us, literally just along from us. They look rather serious, but it doesn't look like they've caught anything either. But I think this one's going to be a tricky one. I'm just hoping it's not the start of a sort of run of bad luck that came, well, for me anyway, last winter. Last winter was horrendous. In all fairness, this year has not been great. We've had a few nice fish, but they've been few and far between. Our last session was pretty diabolical. So much so that I don't even think we filmed much. I made some friends. I met a nice herd of cows. That was the highlight of my day. We're up on one of the big locks up in Argyll, fishing for pike. I had six runs, which is pretty good going for me. Missed every one of them. I think I hooked one. I got one of that size. But that was pretty poor. Struggling a little bit to find my mojo. I was hoping this was going to help, but it's not looking that way at the minute. I'm just going to stick with it, be methodical, and hopefully they turn up. That's the thing with feeder fishing, for roach in particular. It can be dead for hours, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're on your bait. I'm not holding out too much hope.
Would you take a £20 bag or one £2 roach?
One £2 roach, hands down.
So one fish could change a day?
One fish could change the day. And we've heard that swan is going to get away. Yeah. Swans are causing absolute carnage today. Aye, one fish could change the day. And we've heard that there have been big fish caught here before, but rumours and all that. It's only taken 5 hours. Missed 2 bites in that 5 hours. I was determined to get at least one fish from this bloody place. And if it doesn't fall off, I should be able just to swing this little guy in. In fact, he's kind of buried his head a wee bit there. He's going in the net just in case. Yes! Blank is off. Well, last 5 hours was worth it. Look at him. Lovely little fish actually, chunky wee fish. And you know what? He's going in there. So I'm planning on getting a few more. Don't think there was much need for this today. That is the lot. I've had enough. I'm going home. Might see you next time.